Hey, look, welcome back to the Quest for Peace. CJ here. You know, I'm going to save a lot of this for the next video when I talk about, my life and what's going on and how I ended up back in the glorious hands of God. But I wanted to take a moment. How can I put this? I see a lot of friends and people I know that are really struggling with a lot of things that I struggled with years ago before coming back to God. And I just wanted to offer a suggestion. So, if you are struggling mentally, physically, emotionally, if you feel like you're torn, um, if you feel like your emotions are just all over the place, you're up and down, the ebbs and flows aren't balancing out. You're confused constantly. You're anxious. You're depressed. You're feeling like your life is lacking purpose. You're feeling like you have no direction. You feel like everything is wrong. You feel like your life is just playing out in front of you. I think you are starting to feel the spiritual tug on your soul. I feel like you're starting to understand and feel that this is literally a battle of good and evil, that there is literally something that is pulling on your soul, good and bad. So, some time ago, some years ago, um, when I had started going back to church again and I had made the decision to give my life back to Christ and get back to church and start reading the Word, I hadn't experienced anything. Not that you always experience anything, supernatural or like God's always really speaking to you every time you open the Bible, but I guess I was new in my walk with Christ at that time, and maybe I was expecting something a little bit more to occur. In any case, um, I'm in church, and this church service was special because the pastor wasn't going to be providing a sermon or speaking to us about anything specific. It was really an opportunity for the congregation to get together and to pray about whatever you were feeling, to let go of any of the burdens that you were experiencing, the weight, the trauma, and just give it to God amongst the congregation in a way that if you had something going on, you also had a team praying with you and there with you. You could do it silently, you could speak out loud. And I remember being there, and about a half hour in, I started to welt up and get super just filled with emotion, and I couldn't control it. And something in me moved me to the front of the congregation and spoke out loud what I was feeling. Now, you might say, well, you made the conscious choice, but not many people will get up in front of a congregation that you just joined and speak out loud. But I felt like a portion of me was called to. So anyway, this is vague because I both remember it and don't remember it. In one way, I remember seeing it, but I don't remember hearing it. So what I had said was that, God, I'm sorry. And I apologize that I had been blaming you and expecting you to fix me, and I've been ignoring you. And I apologize that I've spent years running from you. And God, I'm tired. And that's the part that stuck out to me, is that I had proclaimed I was tired. And I had realized in that moment that I was tired spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally, because I had been running spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically for years in circles, running through cycles of trauma, running from my emotions, running from my pain, running and trying to fill gaps with things that weren't helping me. Again, I'll talk about some of this in my testimony video, but at this point, I had been sober for a portion of time. I stopped using the things that I was trying to fill myself up with to feel better. And when I stopped filling those cracks and those holes and those wounds with these other things, it gave room for God and the Holy Spirit to work in me. See, when you fill yourself up with these other things, whether it be drugs, alcohol, sex, or it doesn't matter what it is. If you fill yourself with these things, money, um, if you try to use those tools as a way to heal yourself, you're going to keep out the things that are actually good for you. So here are some signs to look out for. If you are neglecting yourself, you're neglecting practical help from your friends, and that was a big sign for me, is I had simultaneously from running from God, I was isolating myself. I was separating myself from the people who really cared about me. Something in my mind was telling me that specific people in my circle really didn't care about me. And that was wrong. And that was not up for me to determine. And they never did anything to me. But I had made the choice that I was in this alone. I had to fix it by myself. And that was my trauma to deal with. not realizing not realizing that maybe God had put those people in my life to help me work through it. I was causing so much damage to myself and hurting people around me instead of giving in, instead of saying, I hear you, God. So if you're having a moment where you feel like nothing around you makes sense, number one, ask for help. Reach out to a friend. Real friends will help you. Reach out to a family member if you can. Find a church. Find a pastor. Ask them to pray for you. Get yourself a Bible. I'm telling you, There are answers galore in that great big book of everything. I won't take up too much time because now I'm starting to ramble. But eventually, you're going to get tired. You can't bear this weight on your own. All of this stuff is so much bigger than us. And I can assure you, you're going to get tired. But when you do, God will be there for you. Jesus will be there for you. And the Holy Spirit will be waiting to partner with you, to teach you, to speak with you, to pick you up and dust you off and say, let's keep going. We got a battle to win. All right. I'm done. I got to go back to work anyway, but thank you for stopping by to the Quest for Peace. Again, we're on a journey to live peaceful lives through Jesus Christ, to live as he did, and to embrace God and to reveal the truth. Peace. God bless.